Welcome to Toast Time. This week is Roti. Quick shout out to Rupal, who spent hours in the kitchen with my husband and I teaching us Indian cooking. We love you. Roti is a wonderful flatbread, very easy to make. She told us that it's one of the first things, or it actually is the first thing, that when you're growing up in a household and your mother is in the kitchen, that is the first thing that you will be in charge of. I have regular flour and whole wheat flour here. And I'm going to put in the salt. Give it a little mix. And this is all done by hand. Give it a little mix. And we're going to rub in the olive oil, kind of like you would with butter. It's still a fat. I'm going to do this. And just rub it in. It's going to kind of get that coarse little pebble feeling to it. That. And then we're going to slowly add the water. There's not a set amount of water. You're just wanting this to come together. So start slow, very slowly, because you don't want to overdo it. Now, when we were cooking with her, she would just sit by the sink and kind of put it underneath, and she wasn't doing measurements. So my husband and I kind of took it and figured out about what she was doing with measurements, because she's an awesome cook and she doesn't do measurements. She just knows how it's supposed to feel. She's one of those wonderful people. This is one of those times when you can just kind of get into the recipe that you're making and kind of get lost in it and just enjoy the feeling of the dough, because you're hand mixing it and you're not quite sure exactly how much you're going to do, but it's a really nice experience. Tiny bit more. That was a lot more. Good thing this came together mostly. Dump some of that back in. I just kind of want a little coating on the bottom. I don't even know if you can see it dripping down, but I'm just going to kind of rub that around on here. That's all the extra water that I wanted. Okay. All right, now that it came together, I'm going to put it on the counter and just kind of give it a little bit of kneading here. Just dipped my hand in the water, and that will add the extra water that I want. All right, now this doesn't need to be kneaded too much. What I'm going to do is kind of form it into a ball, press it down, put it on the countertop, and let it rest for 15 minutes. From there, we'll cut it into the portions, roll it out, and cook it. This one doesn't have much resting time. You're just kind of letting everything set right now, letting the gluten relax, as we always say. And that's pretty much it. All right, I'll see you in 15 minutes. I put a towel over it so it didn't dry out. And we're going to go ahead and cut it up. Let's see, doing about 10. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 cuts will give us the 5 in each half. 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Circle, put in a ball, press it down, set it under a towel. Circle, ball, I should say. Press it down. Now letting it rest that extra 15 really helps, especially with the hydration, because these have the whole wheat flour. And whole wheat flour takes longer to absorb the water. Now, the dough is very different than when I set it underneath the towel, and it is absorbed and taken on more of a dough stretchiness, if you will. That's when we're doing sourdoughs and things like that. We also do that same thing, and we call it an autolyse. All right. Now I have the pan over here heating. So I'm going to just on the flour, just a little bit of the flour here. Roll it out. Nice and thin. All right, and I'm just going to put it on. I'm doing these a little smaller than you might normally. When I'm rolling it, I'm starting in the center, going to the edge for two reasons. It doesn't confuse the gluten, and it helps you get your shape a little bit better when you're able to control how much pressure you're putting in certain areas, starting at the middle. All right, that one on. Now I'm just going to keep going with this. In a minute or so, I will flip that over, and that's it. It's a really simple recipe, but it's really good, and it brings the family together. It has a lot of tradition behind it. So that's it. I cooked it until it got the nice browning color here on one side, flipped it over, did the same, and we have roti. So it's nice and flexible, still very hot. This one puffed a little bit nicely right there, kind of opened up, and great as always. This is really easy. It's really good. Just try it. It's wonderful. Thank you for joining me. And if you enjoy this, then please like, subscribe, all of that. Much appreciated. And I will see you next toast time.